What's going on, everyone? Welcome to episode 61 of High Top Flip Flops. As always, it's Krish, aka Not Chris, aka Mr. Date Your Girl With You, aka Bash Me Outside Because I don't fight, I just get beat up, aka Lil Poopy Dirt, aka Dr. Do Too Little, aka It's Not Me, It's Not You. We're just going through a tough time right now, aka
Pre-workout kicked in full hard. Jeez.
And as always, I'm here with Navek.
Hey, it's Navek, aka Mr. Run Up on Your Girl, Say Hello Then Run Away, aka the Tamil Tyrese, aka Low Couch, aka Please Don't Push Me, but Please Push Me. We got a new episode of the podcast with no guests.
No guests. Because I think we needed to do this one, you know? We took a little hiatus. And, we had to take a little break from doing the show for a bit. And we're back now, three months later. We didn't do anything January, we didn't do anything February. Here we are. This will probably release sometime in April, maybe the first week of April. Yeah, man, we had to take some time away for a few reasons, I think. And yeah, I'll make sure that I'm not the only one speaking about this, you know. But
Look, I think I should speak on this.
Please, man, go ahead.
So, you know what? We did not record for quite a long time. And this is because, I was going through some things. And late last year, some things happened that I had to deal with. And I dealt with them quite poorly, Caused a lot of pain. Caused a lot of frustration. And yeah, I recognize that. And you know what? I'm trying to be better and learn from my mistakes.
Right.
And you're all probably wondering, oh, what is this? What is the reason? And I mean, what can I say? Tristan Thompson cheating really fucked me up.
Fuck off.
Oh my God. Like, when I found out that this faithful Brampton King was accused of cheating, I was sick and disgusted to my stomach. I almost barfed.
What happens past being accused? It's found guilty, right? Like, there's straight video footage of this woman just grabbing onto his special part, you know? I don't know why I called it that. It's just grabbing onto him, you know?
Yeah, I think she didn't even do it really. I think they kissed or something like that,
okay.
And then it exploded.
Oh, so the video's edited? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Oh, are we talking about the first? Because my guy has a couple
multiple accounts
incidents.
Okay.
He can't stop. He just cheats. He loves to cheat. He loves to cheat like how LeBron loves to be the best A&R in music. Ooh, that's some hot tea.
That's some hot tea.
Also, shout out to LeBron, because he came up with the deluxe album. And I'm like, I watched that video of him with chains, and he was just like, I call 2 Chainz chains.
Oh, really? That's just a personal.
Yeah, because we don't know each
other. Because you're on a personal level.
And LeBron was like, hold on. What about we give them 2 more tracks? We give them the album on Friday. Next week, give them 2 more tracks called the Deluxe. And I was like, what the? Yo, why is this man playing basketball? Also, yeah, it's going wild over there. But yeah, I was like, this man needs to get him out of
the league, man. He's
get him in the studio with G-Eazy now.
Just G-Eazy, no one else either.
Just G.
Just G. Oh, you also know on a personal level.
Yeah, and how have you been doing these past few months?
I've been okay. So I think it's worth diving deeper into what you kind of mentioned, because it's fair to say that there's kind of, a lot of what you kind of alluded to, but struggling about in a lot of ways intertwined with me as well, right? And yeah, I think something that we've spoken about on the show before is confrontation, right? And doing it and challenging the idea that confrontation needs to be this like all negative thing. and that it can be done, and it can come from like a place of care, right? But I think, or I know that I, in a lot of ways, was kind of coming from like a place of hypocrisy. And I say this because that was by no means how I was kind of choosing to approach, my meaningful relationships, or I was approaching the people that I cared about. And this obviously it becomes ruinous, right? It weighs on me because I'm sitting here and doing the show and I'm talking all about, oh man, you just gotta confront people and you gotta be firm and you have to make sure that, you still are displaying compassion. But instead what I was doing was just like choosing to do a lot of things. I think one is like not challenge people, because oftentimes that involves like looking past what I at the time and still to this day kind of view as like this compassionate lens, right? It's just like in a lot of ways neglect what someone is going through to get to the bottom of the fact that, someone's causing harm to themselves or to other people. But that's no good, right? To kind of like let things perpetuate is only, one, I continue to lead my life thinking what if, or thinking like, is this going to get any better when, a big part of the solution to problem solving is speaking up about something. And two, I, in a lot of ways, was letting it ruin relationships, right? And to be explicit to, to the people listening as well, that was something that I think was very much what I was beginning to feel with you. And this, this involved someone that we both know and we've known for a very long time. And I think we've reached a point where we can kind of talk about it more explicitly. But as you kind of mentioned, in terms of the way you treated this person, and the way you kind of went about things were not only ways that, I think we've now come to the conclusion of that, they were harmful, or, they weren't the best way to have gone about things. But it was important for me as like a, someone outside of the relationship that you held with them to kind of be upfront and be like, yo, this is what's going on, right? This is in the kind of ways that this person's being hurt. This is the kind of ways that I'm being hurt as like a result of it. And that was hectic, that was like a tough conversation to kind of have, because one, I've never done that before. And I think when we kind of sat there and talked about it that one evening, that was something that you'd shared as well, is that like having someone sit down with you was like, it's never happened before. Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think it was weird because, and I say it's weird because, I don't think I came into that conversation with like a lot of anger, like I don't think I was angry at you by any means. There's definitely frustration and there's definitely hurt. But I think that's like another big part of like why, I've made up in my mind that like being confrontational is so like challenging, because like, and tell me if you feel the same way, but anytime I've experienced confrontation up until like the past 4 or 5 years has like always been met with anger as well. Whether I don't know if I can necessarily my parents, but like, people who've played, like caregiver roles in my life. And, like authority figures, whoever, confrontation is always met with anger. Right. So when, we had that conversation, I feel like there was a lot of the way that, a lot of the things that I had to share, or a lot of the things that I was kind of upfront with you about, it came off like very stern, and that's like unconventional for me. That's like uncharacteristic of me to be that person for anyone. But it was important to do, and I guess I'm curious to kind of know now, like how it was that you felt after that initial conversation that we had, where we sat down in this basement and, I just kind of shared any or all the things that, I was not only experiencing, but I came to understand, and we kind of worked through or talked through everything to make sure that you and I were on the same page. How is it that you felt after we had that conversation?
I felt better. Because I had a lot inside of me that I didn't
Mm.
let out because I didn't talk to anyone about anything.
Right.
And yeah, now, especially now, I definitely feel a lot better, and I'm able to talk to a lot of people, you know,
Right.
and
Right.
about things.
Mm.
And you know, I tend to refer to all moments and try to make it something funny so I could share with other people.
Right.
But I guess now I'm just, you know, telling people the truth,
Right.
you know,
Right.
telling them the honest truth, which can be heavy
Yeah.
at times.
Yeah. And what do you
Mhm.
think? What do you think contributed to you not wanting to like open up to anyone in the past?
I just felt like I didn't need to,
Mhm.
and it wasn't necessary.
Yeah. And like, yeah, I mean, do you think you've been able to reflect on why you felt those ways, or like why you felt it was unnecessary, or why you felt like, yeah, you didn't need to? Do you think that's, I mean, that's, you know, sometimes it's a lifelong battle to figure those things out, but do you feel like you're starting to get a better sense of why you felt that way?
Yeah, I mean, I was just so comfortable with just not sharing a thing and keeping it in and running away, which is
Mm.
what I did best, especially last year.
Right.
I did a lot of running away. Whenever I sense a problem, conflict, you know, I tend to run away,
Mm.
you know. Reminds me of that Kanye song by the same name,
True.
Run Away, because those are literally the bars.
Right. Yeah.
And yeah, I'm not doing that anymore.
Mhm.
Trying my best not to do that.
Right. But it's a hard thing to do when you've like spent, I don't want to say a lifetime, but you know, a majority of, you know, your adult life so far, right? Is that fair for me to say that that's something that you have done in like many realms of your life? Is it something that you feel like you run away from problems that you know, you experience in a particular realm in your life, or it's more kind of wide scale?
Yeah, it's pretty wide,
Mm.
you know. It's
Yeah.
not just like romantic relationships. It's any sort of issue, you know, with my parents, my friends, you know,
Yeah.
any uncomfortable situation. Yeah, I'm over
Right.
there.
Right.
It's pretty, and I haven't addressed it, you know, pretty much until late last year,
Right.
because I've never even spoken to people about that and other things. You know, it's not just that; it's a bunch of other things.
Yeah.
Which
for
is
sure.
why, you know, it's very good to speak to somebody, which you know, could be a therapist.
Yeah.
Very normal thing to do now. You know, I guess, you know, once upon a
Yeah.
time, obviously we're all aware of the stigma, especially for a lot of men. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously affects women,
Mm-hmm.
but I mean, on a serious note, you know,
Yeah.
most recently, a lot of brown men have been, you know, committing suicide.
A lot of Tamil men. Yeah.
Tamil men, to be specific. But, and you know what, we live in families that, you know, I don't want to blame, obviously I'm not blaming their families, but in general, we're surrounded by people that technically don't believe it, think it's for, you know, this is what's the ableist term, which is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, definitely don't encourage it.
Yeah.
You know, and almost get angry if you bring it up or if you go through with it.
Right.
And definitely something that has to be stopped, and we encourage
Yeah.
all people to seek help in some way.
Yeah.
You know, in some way.
Yeah, for sure. And do you feel like there was like a turning point for you, or there was a point in time for you that really kind of like brought the idea of seeking professional help to like the forefront of your mind, where like, yeah, it really kind of kicked in that you're like, yo, this is something that I need to do? Or when was that turning point for you, do you think? When did that idea kind of get like planted in your head?
Mm-hmm. Well, I've been to therapy.
Right,
like,
that's right. You have
a
been
couple
before.
times before,
Yeah.
but they just never stuck.
Yeah.
Just because it just wasn't good.
Mm.
And that's something you have to do. You know, you might have to hop around.
Yeah,
different
for sure,
therapists
for
until you
sure.
find someone that understands you, to a degree, and that could be someone of your race, same or opposite gender, someone that really gets it. And yeah, there was that. I probably should have done this earlier, but there was the moment, late last year where I was just like, a lot of major things, not a lot of major things, but some major things in my life were ending that I've been used to. And once that ended, and I faced all of the issues surrounding myself, and then obviously we spoke and you brought up some things that I wasn't even aware of.
Right.
Sometimes it takes other people to put you on to your own issues.
Yeah.
And once those things became apparent, I was like, I can't keep going like this. It's not healthy.
Yeah.
And for future relationships, non-romantic, romantic, it's for the best in general.
Yeah. To kind of not only seek out the help, but just understand yourself a bit better, right? And how you operate and what is helpful for you and what's not helpful for you. And I think that conversation, I think so much of that conversation was about making clear to you in what ways, you had hurt me or you had hurt other people specifically. But oftentimes that's like, I understood that was like a dangerous place to kind of to end that conversation. And why I say that is because like I joke, I feel like I've made this joke with a couple of people before, but like no matter where you are or like what part of like which diaspora group you're like part of, like young Tamil people will always have like kotroti and like inherited guilt. Like in common, like you could literally be into any other kind of music. You could have any other kind of like career path, political views, but like you'll also carry like guilt for the rest of your life and also enjoy kotroti. And that's like telling, of like how much guilt has been like used as like a driving factor for decision making and like the way we perceive ourselves, right? And that was like the last thing that I wanted to do, right? Is just be like, yo, like these are all the ways that like you've done harm, Nivek, and you should feel bad about it, right? Because the whole idea, I think, and that's always the scary part of confronting someone too, right? Is that you don't want to make someone feel bad about it. That's out of your control though, right? It's like, I can tell you, Nivek, like, oh, I don't want you to feel bad necessarily, but I need you to know the impact of your actions. But when it's like being so ingrained in us and like our ideas of like self-worth are tied to the way we treat others or the ways in which we're told we fucked something up, right? Whether that's like our grades or getting in like trouble or not being obedient in the home or whatever. And that was like, I guess that was something that I was like really afraid of kind of ending that conversation, right? Was that like, it had come off like I was just here to kind of shit on you. Because I think that was like a big thing that you spoke about, or we later got to speak about, and I took the time, or I tried to kind of take the time to reflect on after you kind of shared that to me, which is that like these ideas and these feelings of like feeling like worthless, and that like there's no value to what we bring into the world is like so apparent, so ingrained in both of us. And like why that's the case, like why we feel like we're not enough, is not something that I really know the answer to. I mean, of course it's going to be different for everybody, but it is kind of like it's just scary, but also like I'm glad that we could kind of come to those realizations. Not simultaneously, but at similar kind of timelines, and I think hosting that conversation with you was like a big catalyst for that, because I think something that is also important for me to say is that, I don't think it, this whole hiatus was just because, we had this tough conversation, I think, and something that I've addressed with you off record before is that, I realized that the ways in which like I hosted those conversations with you, or I kind of followed up with you and was really persistent about seeking help, or persistent about, pushing you to figure out what your course of action was, is that I realized that was like not the healthiest way to go about it, like in a lot of ways I was very overbearing in like my approach of being like, all right, Nivek, like how are you going to deal with this? How are you going to deal with this? Do you want to deal with this? And you're told this like all the time, but it took me a very long time to kind of understand the whole idea of like, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't force a horse to drink, right? And in a lot of ways, I think, where, the kind of push that I was trying to give you, or that kind of like, that urgency that I was sharing with you, very much came from this idea that, that you getting help and you learning, the mistakes that you made would bring me peace as well, would bring peace to like the conflict that I was feeling inside me. And that was like a driving factor for like why I was continuing to push you. Cause I was like, oh, like I don't feel good about doing this podcast. I don't feel good about, the fact that, we have friends, or we have people who've been hurt, and, there's no solution being made. Oh, this is all this discomfort I feel in me, but if I keep pushing Nivek to do all this stuff, it's like, here's this like checklist I can then move forward with, and I can use in my mind to like rationalize and feel better about, the fact that there's a lot of hurt. You're hurting, there's other people hurting, I'm hurting. But that was not fair, right? For two reasons. One is that, my own suffering or my own pain is, something that I need to work through myself, right? And I need to dive deeper as to why it is that I'm feeling all this pain at this current point in time. But simultaneously kind of understand that like, once I kind of get to the point where you and I agree that, hey, like this is the solution that needs to unfold, in a lot of ways that's kind of like your journey from that point, right? And I can't make my compassion conditional on the fact that you're gonna get help, or you're gonna seek out the solution, right? Because that's unfair, and that's so much of what we've like experienced in our lifetime, right? Is that like, oh, I'm gonna show you love, I'm gonna show you care, I'm gonna show you kindness, I'm gonna show you patience, so long as you keep your grades up, so long as you don't fuck around, so long as you're obedient, so long as you do as I say. And that's like, yeah, that's like fucked us up in a lot of ways, right? It's like our understanding of what it means to be compassionate and what it means to like really be supportive of someone. And that took me a minute to understand, I think it was only like last month, maybe like February, that it like really dawned upon me. I was like, wow, I was probably doing more harm than I was helping by trying to like really push someone. And yeah, I think, I'm glad that, we've reached this point where, you are getting the help that you need and that you deserve. And that I didn't push you to a point where, you just wanted to disassociate completely. Because I think that could be a very real possibility, It's just like, yo, who is this guy just like continuing to tell me what to do? And I think I say that because, I very recently experienced that with another friend of mine, and that's tough. This is a guy who I've known for a very long time, who's just completely out of my life now because he didn't want to own up to his actions. He didn't want to own up to the harm that he's causing. And he didn't like the fact that, we were pushing him to be more, to be better. And I guess this is all to say that, like, why we're talking about this on the podcast is because it's both of us, right? It's both of us that have gone through something and have been struggling through something and have needed the time away. And it hasn't just been a consequence of just you or just one of us, needing time to reflect and needing time to really sit with what it is that we were kind of struggling with, right? And yeah, I think, after seeing a lot of the progress that you made, or seeing that, the help and the kind of relief and comfort that you found in therapy, it's also something that I'm slowly looking into as well. And I'm saying on this record here so that I'll hold myself accountable. But yeah, I think it's about time that I kind of address, that, my ideas of self-worth or self-esteem are kind of non-existent. And it very much has shaped the way that I interact with people and the ways in which, I strip myself of any kind of prioritization on like my well-being. And what that's a consequence of, hard to say, but I guess that's what therapy's for, right? Is to try and get to the bottom of it and to try and rationalize that, and to make sure that I remind myself of those things when I interact with, the people that I care about, right? What I bring to the relationships around me. But yeah, I just felt it important to share this with the people that we that listen to us, that watch our podcast, because something that we also talked about off air, is that we probably wouldn't have continued doing this if we just continued to do the podcast and didn't choose to address any of this. I think the likelihood of it just like eating, maybe me, just like eating at me, that it's like, oh, this is something that is not being addressed, would have just kind of spiraled me to this point of like, having no motivation of wanting to do the show. And two, like, we're not popping, we don't have thousands of fans listening to us.
Ooh, that's some hot tea.
That's pretty cold tea, it's just like SST.
Yeah, it's like it's definitely a bubble tea.
It's bubble tea. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. But yeah, and so often, I mean, like, we could talk about so many artists, so many creative people that we know who have pushed through their struggles to like keep creating art for the people around them, and have suffered like greatly, to the point of taking their own lives.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
And while I don't think it's fair to say that like you or I mean, I'll speak for myself. It's not fair for me to speak for you, but I don't think I reached that point where, suicidal thoughts or suicidal tendencies or something that were coming into my headspace. But, to think about like what not addressing, our own struggles and, major kind of mistakes or issues that, are relevant in our lives can take, is like quite scary, right? And in retrospect, I think taking this time to just like continue to talk, continue to reflect, continue to seek the help that we need, and get to this point where we feel good, sitting side by side and feeling like, yeah, we did the work, we did the race, and like we're now here and excited and ready to take the show on again,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and for myself, it's kind of therapeutic every time I hop on the mic. Because every time I hop on the mic, it's going to go down.
Yeah.
Not good stuff. But you know what? As long as we enjoy it and we're having fun and the guests are having fun.
Right.
And people like it.
Yeah.
You know what? That's it.
Yeah, fair. I mean, I think that was always it for sure. But I think on top of all that, we have fun. We make sure that, we host good conversation, we get good laughs, but, we also take care of ourselves in the process, right?
Yeah, that's true.
And kind of make sure that, we're doing good, and we make sure our guests are doing good, and we make sure that people that have supported us and, potentially are still listening 3 months later are good. And keep talking about the things that aren't going to be talked about, right? It is really freaky to think about, of course we can talk about men in general, but like we can talk about Tamil men more specifically too, right? Who are very much silently struggling, but more importantly are in a lot of ways harming, the people that they claim to or they do really love about. And that to me is the scary and kind of unfortunate consequence of like a very deep rooted like underlying problem. And just kind of issue that doesn't really get talked about, right? And more often than not, it's like what demographic of people are suffering the most as a consequence of someone else not being able or being afforded the space or being afforded the opportunity to like resolve their traumas. Like 9 times out of 10 are the women in their lives,
Yeah, exactly.
And you think about what cycle is going to end up being perpetuated. It's frightening, it's disheartening, but it's also eye-opening, right? It gives us more reason to talk about something like this and just be open about it on this podcast, right? So yeah, I this is certainly the first time that you and I are kind of being open about it, but yeah, I don't think it'll be the last, nor do I hope it's the last. And it's worth just kind of normalizing this idea, right? That there are going to be ups, there are going to be downs. But, choosing to be transparent about it, choosing to rid ourselves of this idea that we shouldn't talk about it and that we should deal with it on our own and then come do the show and make everything hunky-dory is hogwash. And 3, just like do the show how we've done, if not even better. Nivek and I held a meeting for the first time ever for this podcast.
Wow. We were right. It was like SNL writers.
It was like,
we were just spitballing.
It was like Matt Damon and Ben Affleck, just Good Hunting. Is that reference washed now? Are both those guys washed?
Well, Matt Damon's still cool. Ben Affleck's pretty
washed.
Pretty washed now.
Okay.
But it was like SNL in 1995. It was like Chris Rock and Chris Farley. Just spare skits, so many jokes, classic lines that we just off the top. We met up for like what was it? 1 hour, 1.5 hours?
Probably.
How many skits do you come up with? 3, 4?
Probably 3. But yeah, it was good, and I think we decided that we're gonna go back to the bi-weekly schedule. To make sure that we give ourselves enough time to put out a product we like.
And also, I want to speak this into existence because the other day I was thinking about this. Because I was thinking about the network known as TVI, which is the Tamil channel.
Yeah.
And they had a show called Crossroads, right? Which is just people speaking English about issues or whatever.
Right. Was it Madhusha who was a host on that show? Or was it a different show?
She was, I don't know if she's a host. She's definitely on the show.
Okay.
Right?
Shout out to Madhusha, episode 60, Dash the Curry. But sorry, please continue.
Shout out to Dash. And I would love to bring that back.
TVI?
Yeah, honestly, on TVI.
Yeah. Who's gonna watch us on TV though? Like we'd 100% have to bring that to YouTube or IGTV or something like that.
I don't know. I feel like we can find some people. I'll find some people that, maybe will trust us.
Let's just hit up every one of our third cousins because they're probably all videographer and photographers.
Yeah, exactly.
But let's run it, man. We're trying to get on TV. Where else are we trying to get on? Not Viceland, but
why not?
Actually, we could probably do Viceland. But they always have someone, and they already have their 4 token brown people, They have that Krishna guy.
Actually, that's a lot, actually. That's the most on TV.
Maybe it's not token. Yeah, you're right.
I think they have more brown people on their network than all of NBC.
True.
Which is very sad.
True.
Obviously, reality.
Yeah.
But it's the most diverse network, of course.
Yeah. That's fair.
Shout out to them. But honestly, TV, I think we can craft something out for them. Look, those 3 sketches that we have, honestly, ASMR videos, bread reviews, reviewing bread.
Hey, don't spoil them all.
I won't leak them.
Please don't leak them. But yes, we're gonna bring back the skits. We're gonna make sure that we do this in full flight, full flex, freestyles. We got to do freestyles.
The bars are coming.
The bars are very much coming.
Just know that I was in the grocery store today. buying these pickles, and I was thinking of bars.
Oh yeah.
I have bars in the brain.
Are you showing the brand or not? Don't show the brand because we might
Well,
get sued.
It's
Oh, are you just showing the French side?
I mean, it's a no-name brand, kind of, right?
I think
PC is like
President's
President
Cois.
Voice.
President's Moist is probably more than a no-name brand, but
Honestly, we'll give you a taste.
oh, you're gonna do it right now. Okay.
Of this quality.
Make sure you get
content.
really close to the mic.
Oh no, I'm not gonna do ASMR. I'm just gonna review this.
Okay. Yeah, get the crunch there.
Honestly, tastes bad. No,
That's some hot tea. Ooh, that's some hot tea.
Shout out to the soundboard because this is gonna be fun.
that is.
We only have 2 sounds locked and loaded right now. We have Nivek saying some hot tea.
Ooh, that's some hot tea.
We got the legendary one.
Hit him with it.
Pre-workout kicked in full hard cheese. Pre-workout kicked in full hard cheese.
Thank you for cleaning that up. Yes, we're gonna load a lot more sounds on there, but we just had to make sure the setup worked. Hit us on our Instagrams, man, if you got some fun sounds that you want us to put on there. Maybe every time we have a guest, we'll ask them what they want to hear on the soundboard, and then we can always have one sound dedicated for them to hit. I think that'd be pretty fun. What'd you think of the pickles? Sorry, you didn't actually
Oh
say.
no, these pickles are delicious. Actually, they're not bad pickles at all. These taste so good. They're called bread and butter pickles. Great name, first of all.
Yeah.
And kind of sweet, kind of salty.
Oh man,
My kind of pickle.
you're kind of pickle.
That's all like my people.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
What does that mean? Yes, good question.
Pre-workout kicked in full hard cheese.
Man, earlier I went to the gym, but you know what I had to do before that?
Pre-workout kicked in full hard
Hit
cheese.
'em. But you know, back to the shits. Regular shit. How's the week been? Anything came up? Anything come up?
Nah, man. Not a whole lot. I'm working a job that is that's paying me really well, but unfortunately I continue to struggle with not being able to find work that I find very fulfilling. So yeah, ideally I would love to be doing something podcast related. I would love to be doing, more shows or more mixing, more DJing. Anyone in the GTA, you got brother, sister, a mom or dad, a friend who's getting married, maybe hosting a function, you need a DJ for cheap, let me know.
Or for expensive, because every time we drop another pod, you know what goes up? The price.
Price. Oh, what's the price? That's what we need. We need Migos saying, what's the price?
Oh, yeah, that is necessary.
That'd be a good soundboard one. But I've got a new show idea to do a little podcast of that I'm brainstorming. I'm not trying to share too much about it right now because most people like to speak things to existence, but most times when I speak things into existence, they don't actually speak themselves into existence whatsoever. So to curb that, I figure why not form the idea first and then talk about it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So that's all I'll say for now, but feeling excited about it, feeling good about it. And besides that, I started seeing someone not that long ago, maybe six odd months ago.
Wow.
And that has been, it's been very new. It's been exciting. It's been challenging. It's been all of those things all at the same time. And, I feel like the first time I told someone that like being in a relationship was challenging, they were like, whoa, why do you say it's challenging? It's like, hey, challenge doesn't have to be a bad thing.
Did you hate her?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But yeah, I think that, to pretend like relationships are easy or to want relationships to be easy is maybe unfair to like ourselves and to our partners and to anyone that we care to like engage with relatively seriously. And it's worth kind of embracing that uncertainty and that fear a bit because there's growth that can come out of it, right? And I guess something that I continue to remind her of and continue to remind myself of is that we're still individuals at the end of this, and by when I say at the end of this, I just mean at the end of the day, and we have our own growing to do, and That doesn't mean that we can't do it together, but simultaneously, you know, we need to be mindful of what it is that we really need for ourselves, and to just be honest with one another about it, and continue to see how we can be present for each other in that way. And for that reason, it's been really exciting. It's been tough some days, you know. There's a lot of tough conversations that need to be had, but so much like relief and kind of like fulfillment that has also come out of taking the time to be present and to understand one another. And on top of that, to also just like enjoy so much of the time spent together, and the kind of traditional things that someone might expect that kind of comes along with engaging with someone romantically. So that has been a change, or something that I guess has been a part of my life for maybe the past 7-ish months now. So yes, there were a couple months where I was on the podcast and I wasn't talking about it, but you know, it's fine. It's my business, kind of. It's now your business. But yeah, man, that's about it. That's about it for me. And yes, like I said too, I made the decision very recently to look into some therapy, trying to figure out which options might be best suited for me financially and also just location wise. But there's a lot of different ways you can go about it, from what I'm understanding. You know, there are a lot of free resources. There are some that you need to pay for. You know, my partner, she was the one who encouraged me to do this, and there's a lot of people who've encouraged me to do this. And to anyone listening, you know, I certainly encourage you to do this if, you know, you are curious to seek out some professional help. Planned Parenthood, if you visit their website, there is a number that you can call for, you know, your whatever region is closest to you, and you can get in touch with someone known as a case consultant. And what this individual does for free is sit with you and talk to you about what it is that you're trying to seek out help for specifically. And this can range from anything. I think obviously the main idea surrounding Planned Parenthood is abortion, or potentially even looking to have some support in bringing a child into this world. But it's also services for mental health. It's also services for coping with addiction. There's so many support services that are provided by Planned Parenthood. And when you get in touch with them, you can explain to them what it is that you're looking help for, where it is that you live around, what your financial situation looks like. And they'll list to you, either via email, or they can follow up with you on the phone, and they'll list to you everything that's nearby and what varies, or what's costs money, what doesn't. And that was an extremely helpful tool for me to determine, what was maybe the best couple options for me. So maybe we can link that in our IG bios there.
Definitely, yeah. Big salute to Planned Parenthood, because all I was aware of was, how they assist people with all the things that they do, which is amazing. And I wasn't aware of therapy options, addiction
likewise.
stuff. I did not know that at all.
Yeah.
So yeah, big salute to them. Always, they've done so much good.
Yeah, totally. And we a friend of the show, Janani Jayasundram, she also hooked us up with this really great just Google Doc full of like all kinds of resources from the Greater Toronto area that can support people through mental health crises. But more importantly, they were nuanced. A lot of the services were specific for Tamil people, specific for non-Tamil people. They were culturally sensitive. All those things, play a big part in kind of, how effective the help that you get is. So please let us know as well. Hit us up via email, or maybe over Instagram DM or something too. We're more than happy to circulate that Google Drive document that Janani was kind enough to lend to us. But yeah, man, that's about it for me. How about you?
Yeah, some things have been happening. I'm watching a lot of shows.
Okay.
A lot of good shows. Netflix is still killing it. You can say what you want, but they stay killing it. Like all the British shows, You know what? I love British shows, but they do that damn thing where, oh, let's just do like 2 episodes a season. When
Is that a
it's-
thing?
Oh yeah, their episodes are like 6 to 8 episodes a season. Like less
Right.
than and here it's some shows are like 23 episodes, which are the network stuff. And then
Okay.
there's other stuff that's HBO, Showtime, which is like 10, 11, which is normal.
Yeah.
Which is dope. Like Atlanta, 10 episodes, perfect.
Yeah.
But I was even thinking about not Parks and Rec, but Brooklyn Nine-Nine is it's so wild because that show when I found out about it, funny cops,
Mm.
I was like, oh, this is trash. This is gonna be trash.
Yeah.
Off rip. But I was like watching it last night. I was like, damn, this shit is so good.
Ooh, that's some hot tea.
It's actually not super hot because I feel like it's a popular opinion.
Yeah, that's
People
everybody
really like
thinks
it. Yeah.
That's gone. Also, I watched a show called Dating Around on Netflix.
Okay.
And Dating Around, the premise is that each episode, there's 6 episodes, there's a different person, guy or girl, and they go on, I want to say 5 dates, and they cut it so that it looks like it's all on the same night.
Oh wow.
And the first episode was like this good-looking, tall white dude that's 27 and apparently already settled, has a career, and is just looking for love. And I'm like, man, this is so unrealistic.
Yeah.
Get a scumbag like me
Yeah.
that shows up in like a Thrasher hoodie and Adidas sweatpants.
Right.
First of all,
It's set at Al Furniture Warehouse.
I'm not that low.
I'm sorry.
That was the old me, circa when I was 19.
Right,
yes,
right,
I
right.
did that, unfortunately. But I've grown.
Please don't ask for the Nivik from 4 years ago. He's at a higher place, right?
You don't know me from 4 years ago. I was definitely a different person.
Mm.
Because that's another thing. Because we're going on 15 different tangents.
Right.
But that's okay. This is a podcast.
That's fine. That's fine.
It's fine. But sometimes I look at messages that I might have from like when I was
Whoa.
20, even 22. And like, oh, damn, I really said that? That's so corny. That's what I believed at that time. And that wasn't that long ago.
Right. Only a few years back. It's true.
Yeah, and back to this dating around thing. Yeah, I think they needed to be a bit more real. Like I should show up and I should say, yeah, I mean, she asked, oh, what do you do? And then I'll be like, I'm just, I'm just living right now.
Yeah.
I do this podcast.
Yeah. I'm a designer.
First of all, I didn't even put this out yet. Remember that picture I posted on my other IG
Oh.
of
Can you edit that in to the?
Oh,
Can you do that maybe?
Yeah, I'll do that. We can do
Sweet,
that.
man.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Hopefully.
And I'm gonna throw this picture up right here. And to everybody that says, "Oh, Navik, you're trash at designing. You suck at web design." Bitch, shut up. Look at me now. I did this shit.
Right here.
It's original content.
Did that
yeah.
feel good to get off your chest?
Mm-hmm.
That did? Okay. I'm glad.
Yeah, exactly. And then I need to bring up like, it needs to be a guy, not me, that says, yeah, I'm going to be honest with you. I did credit card fraud. This is what I used to
Oh,
do.
man. Yeah.
I had to get by through hard times. And the girl, hopefully she's a nice person. She's like, I recognize your struggle.
Mm.
But she doesn't have to be. She could be honest as well. She'd be like,
Yeah.
Get out of here. I don't want to deal with that. But, I mean, also I've only seen 1 episode of this show. There's probably other episodes with more normal
That
people.
are maybe better. Yeah.
But this is like a weird start because this guy is too damn perfect.
Fair.
I was like weirded out.
I just had a new idea that maybe we could materialize on TVI. It's just we're gonna say.
I think we had the same idea.
Okay, so what I was gonna say was, we do the show on TVI. It's the same idea, it's dating around, but it's with average Tamil men, okay, in Scarborough exclusively,
Mm-hmm.
going on a date with anyone who's just way out of their league.
Mm-hmm.
And the title of the show, chopping it up.
That's what you want to call it?
That's what I want to call it.
Chop it up?
Chopping it up.
Chopping it up. Okay, I like that. I had the same idea,
Uh-huh.
but it was with me.
Oh, just you. It's The Bachelor, but
Yeah, it was just me. And then we obviously, we do the trick.
Ooh, that's some hot tea.
To those of you who don't know the trick, that's my idea where my good-looking friend, such as Methuselah, who was on this podcast a long time ago, he goes on Tinder, Bumble, matches with the girl, arranges a date, but then the trick is I show up.
It's not a trick. It's catfishing. But anyways, let's just keep that idea alive, my guy. We'll find a place for it somewhere.
The trick.
But yeah, I feel like we kind of got everything that we needed to say for this episode, huh?
One more thing. Of course, we got to talk about music.
Of course.
Anything?
Oh man. So I'm not even gonna front, like, like the Solange album made perfect sense to me on the first try. I'm not on that level. You know what? Big part of accepting, parts of who we are is accepting that, I'm not an art hoe. That's not fair for me to say.
Yeah, no, that is true.
I'm gonna take that back.
That's your truth right there.
I am not someone who understands art at a higher, maybe more complex, abstract level, the way Solange does. And does that mean I can't appreciate her work anymore? No, I can still appreciate it. But does it mean that I got it and that, it was cohesive to me and it made sense to me on the first couple listens? Also, no. But that's okay because I'm still listening to it and I'm slowly starting to make sense of it. An artist named Mereba recently put out an album.
Heard about that.
That is quite phenomenal. The name of the album is going over my head here. You know what? Because we can make edits now. I'm going to look on Spotify. Just kidding. I'm not going to do that because it's going to take too long.
But yeah, Mereba, you said.
Mereba, that's right. Really good project. We got to see James Blake live.
Wow.
That was your first time. Tell me about it.
My
What did you
first time
think?
seeing James Blake. Yeah, it's everything I expected and better. Yeah, this man can definitely sing. He sings.
Oh, man.
He can really sing.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that he definitely did, because his first album is, maybe one of my favorites ever.
The
Probably my
self-titled,
top 10.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, self-titled album I think is brilliant. And he did some songs from there, which is cool. And he did a lot of the new stuff. I really like the new album as well. And
Phenomenal.
hearing that live is always great as
Yeah.
well. He's just, what's funny is at the beginning, so there's to describe it for them, obviously, because, there's 3 sections, a drummer in the middle. On the right, was there keyboards on the left or on the right?
I guess stage right. There was the guy with the synth. He had a bass. He basically takes the bass pedals of an organ, and has them raised up to chest level so he can play them. And he uses guitar as well and a little sample pad. And then on the stage left is where James Blake is, and he's got 2 keyboards, I think, 2 or 3, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and then at the beginning, so 3 white guys came in. I'm like, oh, which one is?
Here we
James
go.
Blake? They all look the exact same.
Yeah.
They're all 6'4" with long hair.
That's right.
That's another thing that people. Yeah, that was James Blake's dad. He was white and 6'4", but
Yeah.
it's valid.
It's
It's very valid.
True. That's really funny.
Oh, I want to mention with the Solange album. So that's what a lot of people. Well, more people were kind of angry with the what are they called again? The interludes. There's 6
There's a lot of
interludes that are each
interludes,
20
yeah.
seconds.
Yeah.
And I didn't mind it because I heard, and it took me a long time to get adjusted to this, but Frank Ocean's, what's the album that came before Blonde, a day before Blonde?
Endless.
Endless, yeah. So Endless has a lot of, a few, maybe 4 songs that are 20 seconds.
Right.
And at first I was so angry because most of them are really good.
Yeah,
Big
yeah.
Bar songs 50 seconds.
Yeah.
And so then I listened to it 20 times, kind of definitely got adjusted to it, understood it, loved it. And with Solange, yeah, for me on the first listen, it got me. That was what was weird to me.
Oh, wow.
Was at first I was like, yeah, there's a lot of interludes, and then it got to I think it was Stay Flow, Almeida.
Yep.
With Cardi.
With Cardi, yeah, of all people.
Which, man, Solange has taste, which we all
Very
know,
good tunes,
of course. But she has, she's really paying attention.
Mm-hmm.
Because not a lot of people, I don't think those artists at her caliber would reach out to Cardi.
Would bring Cardi on, yeah.
And
No
then
kidding.
and then Gucci with My Skin Is My Logo. That's great.
Yeah.
That song, I love that song.
Yeah. I also really like that one. I also really like Stay Flow as well. again, more the songs that are like more traditional in like the way that they're built, which makes sense as to why they're the most palatable ones or the ones that stand out the most. But yeah, definitely need to do some more listening there, because I'd like to understand that, like to open up my third eye, to this new Solange album. But yeah, how about you? Any? I mean, there's probably more, but I'm really blanking.
Oh, in terms of music?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry.
There's this artist, Da Baby, not Lil Baby, but Da Baby.
Okay.
He dropped this album same day as Solange, actually.
Okay.
Called Baby on Baby.
Oh shit.
And it is surprisingly good.
Yeah.
There's the beats, the production on that is amazing.
Damn.
Which makes him, and his voice is kind of great.
Yeah,
over that production.
Yeah. Wow.
That sounds good.
Da Baby.
2 Chainz dropped as well, which I mean, there's a few
Gotta listen.
some good songs there.
Yep.
Not my favorite 2 Chainz album, actually.
Not your favorite.
Yeah, I think Pretty Girls Love Trap Music is kind of way better.
Way better, right? I feel like there's a lot of good features on this project, right? Well, it's like very feature heavy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to listen.
Mama, I Just Hit a Lick with Kendrick.
True.
Pretty good. Most of his solo stuff is good as well.
Dang.
So
Need to listen. Need to peep. But yeah, I'm certain we'll be able to talk a lot more music on the next episode with whoever we bring on. But yeah, I think we've just about reached the end of this episode here, man. Thank you for sitting down and making it through this with me, and yeah, letting the people know what's been good and what took us so long, but most importantly, why we're back,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you know what? Most importantly, something that always stays with me, especially these days, something that's in my head constantly, that I'm constantly thinking about, that makes me just feel better is this.
Pre-workout kicked in full hard. Jeez.
That's twisted. I thought you were going to say something really, really meaningful.
I guess, but on the real, have conversations, talk to your friends about how they're feeling, how they're doing, see how people are.
Yeah.
Just see how people are.
Yeah.
And if you need help, just try to reach out.
Yeah. Yeah. And, on the flip side of things too, when you think someone's struggling or someone's going through it, ask yourself if you feel like you have the capacity to raise the concern with them. And even then, when fear kind of kicks in, do your best to, say what you need to say, even if your voice trembles as you say it, because it'll always be worth it. It will always, always, always be worth it. Yeah, this concludes episode 61. As always, I'm Krish, aka not Chris, aka Dr. Do Too Little, aka Bashman Side because I don't fight, I just get beat up, aka Mr. Date Your Girl With You, aka It's Not Me, It's Not You, I'm just going through a tough time, aka Bashman Side because I don't fight, I just get beat up. I did these all in the wrong order. It's literally
all of mine.
Yeah,
honestly.
fuck. We will have to revisit all these. But as always, I'm Mr. Navake.
It's Navake, aka Navape, aka Mr. Run Up On Your Girl, Say Hello, Then Run Away, aka Tamil Tyrese, aka Low Couch, and
aka Tupac Shakur. There you go.
Shakur.
Jesus Christ. Tupac.
Tupac.
Shapur. You just flip the K and the P.
Yeah, I guess Shakur works. But
Fuck.
yeah,
We're rusty as hell.
Shakur.
Holy
Yeah.
shit. That's amazing. Episode 61. Thanks again for listening. See you soon.
Bye-bye.